in Denmark. It's the HSBC BWF Denmark Open 2024. Already into our third match of the day. It is time for women's doubles. Teresa Joly and Gayatri Gopichan Pullela of India are playing the Malaysian fifth pairing of Muralitharan and Tina Muralitharan. We're looking at the draw here. The winner of this match takes on either Lee and Shin or McPherson and Torrance of Korea and Scotland, respectively. So our Indian pair come out first. Teresa Joly and Gayatri Pullela Gopichand.
They are facing from Malaysia, Muralitharan and Tina Muralitharan.
And then the Malaysians, Muralitharan there leading the way, Tina Muralitharan just behind her. They've just had a pretty good time of it in the Arctic Open. They lost in the final. But they'll be delighted they did well there at least. Hello. 5-1, Tan and Tina leading their opponents. The last meeting at the Sudirman Cup finals last year.
Red or black? Black, you have red. It's red. Okay, who will serve? There is serve. Okay. Okay, who will receive? And which side? This side. Okay.
Since a fine run in the Olympics, the Malaysians have really gone from strength to strength and got to 3 finals. They'll feel they've hit the ground running. Teresa Joly, though, we'll talk about the Indians first. 21 years of age, 164 centimeters tall, from the south of India in Kerala. In the world as a highest ranking, achieved midway through last year. Gayatri Gopichan Pullela from Hyderabad, comes from very good stock, of course. Her father, Pullela Gopichand, one of India's best ever players. Now, these two have won 2 tournaments together, the Sidemodi International and the Odisha Open, both in India, back in 2022. Well, they've got to 2 finals, actually. The Sidemodi, they were runners-up there and won the Odisha Open. And now for the Malaysians, Muralitharan, 24, 164 centimeters tall, from the north of Malaysia, the state of Kedah. Not far away from their highest ranking of 5th, which was achieved at the start of last year. They're the reigning Commonwealth Games champions. And they're also... she's a former world junior champion silver medalist, Muralitharan. Tina Muralitharan is a bit older at 26, not far away from the capital, KL. And this pairing have won 3 titles together. The most recent was the Hong Kong Open a couple of weeks ago. And as I mentioned last week, they were runners-up at the Arctic Open. Poland's Mateusz Robel is the umpire. Seamus Halpin from Ireland is our service judge. But that's got to give them such confidence, isn't it, Chris, when you've had a very good run in the Olympics, you fall just short, as you said. It could go one of 2 ways. We talked about that with Yo Jia Min, and they've taken the Yo Jamin path, as it were. The 3 finals is a very good record since then.
Yeah, incredibly, and for them it's even tougher in regards to what happened at the Olympics. You know, they're kind of touching distance of a medal, and it's the toughest position to finish 4th. And
right,
but absolutely full credit to them and the whole team at BAM in Malaysia, because they've grown, they've risen, and now, no doubt, they are one of the most informed ladies doubles players in the world. I would go as far as to say, if you take the Chinese ladies doubles players out of it, remove all of them,
they
probably are the most informed pair. I would say the Chinese at the moment are absolutely incredible.
Yes.
The depth they have, the new players coming through, everything.
Yeah, they really gained a lot of attention after their win in the French Open, the Super 750. That was their 2nd title. 3rd, as I mentioned, the Hong Kong Open, but they've got to the final of the Korea Open, and then last week losing to Liu Shengshu and Tan Ning in the Arctic Open.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Muralitharan and Tina Muralitharan, Malaysia. And on my left, Risa Yoni and Gayatri Gopichan Pullela, India. Muralitharan to serve to Gayatri Gopichan Pullela. Level. Play.
Powerful there from Teresa Joly.
Over 1 love.
Yeah, and both these partnerships definitely have their favoured roles, as in, for the Indian, Jolly's definitely the rear court player, a partner. Definitely being the net player in that partnership.
Challenge unsuccessful, no challenges remaining. Service over. 7, full, play.
That's incredibly well taken there. It was a comfortable cutout. Tina at the net, but she took it so well. Just showing she's the net player on the Malaysian side.
Disappointing whenever that happens. Oh, nicely done.
Yeah, I mean, the rally there was so many points, I could say. I mean, the return of serve from the Malaysians, it was so skillful. And then the Malaysians were in crazy trouble. And there was an incredible turn in the rally. And then they did so well to then finish the rally. This is a pair that, you know, their confidence is not through the roof, but it's right up there.
Certainly one of the informed women's doubles pairs at the moment. Now, Chris, for those newer to the sport, perhaps explain why the drift that we have said now is fairly apparent from behind where the Indian pairing are. Why is it less of an issue when you're playing doubles?
I think it depends how you look at everything, which is something I've said before in regards to, because you've got a partnership that can defend, in doubles you basically have to cover slightly less court.
Right.
The court is bigger than a singles court. You still have to overall cover less space. And what we saw previously in the singles was really getting exposed with outmaneuvering each other, because when you lift with the drift, it's much harder to get your lift deep without it going out. Now, if you're on better balance, it's easier to do that. And also, if you do lift a bit shorter, a little bit shorter, you can get away with it a fraction more in doubles. I think it's definitely a case of moving the shuttle around differently in doubles and singles. And I think, to be fair, okay, we've literally the kiss of death. I was just about to say, we actually haven't seen a lot of lifts from the Indians going out, and then typical it kind of happens.
Thanks for that, yeah.
Definitely one of those commentators that seems to have that kiss of death comment. But it's we might see it more and more, that the more stretched the Indians are, and especially the more uncomfortable they feel, because the attack from the Malaysians is very good. Great move there from Pullela. Read it so well, and you know she is the net player in the partnership, but she stepped in so well, because it's a big risk when you give your opponents the attack, but she reads it so well. You can see there, stormed in. She was already at the net when the drop shot's coming over. Instantly goes from defense into attack.
That's going to be well out.
I do feel it. I did feel a little bit sorry for the Indian pair, just because they were doing so well. They were showing so much promise, and then not all of a sudden, but Gayatri, she got an injury that caused them, you know, to be out of competition for a bit. And you could tell when she was playing, she wasn't quite right, and it was just at that awkward time in Olympic qualifying. So they were one of the pairs that they missed out. And
they were in contention, weren't they?
Definitely. Their teammates obviously did qualify, so for India it was good to have a partnership qualifying. You know, they're a similar level to their teammates. But I just felt a little bit sorry for them that they didn't quite make it. They're very young, so for them, I'm sure they're confident that they will have time to make the next one, both being 21 years of age. Brilliant.
Oh, again.
And she is definitely, you know, look at a big smile afterwards, but she is one of the most creative ladies doubles players in the world. She really is a joy to watch, and she's got everything in regards to shot selection. She can play any shot from any moment, and that's why she's so devastatingly good, because you don't know what you're going to get. I almost think, though, sometimes, yeah, but sometimes I almost feel she tries to make everything a little bit better than it needs to be. You know, on a serve, on a return of serve. Even there, you know, the double action, and don't get me wrong, when it works, it's phenomenal. But sometimes she can slightly overcomplicate things.
Sorry, and I was only just laughing because after such a great compliment paid to her, came that.
Yeah. Going to start to get some messages from players saying, "Please don't say anything nice about me."
Well, it's the Indians in front. Sorry, the Malaysians in front by 2. So not kind of domination, perhaps, that we're seeing in the singles. As Chris explained, it's not quite the same when you're playing with doubles.
Even in that rally there, the Malaysians got a little bit out of position. They slight misunderstanding, miscommunication at one point, but still managed to do so well to stay in that rally. They are one of the few pairs. See, when they won the Hong Kong Open, one of the few pairs to beat Liu and Tan from China, who at the moment they are the most dominant pair.
The very pair that beat them in the Arctic Open.
Yep. Wow.
Oh, brilliant. Again.
I mean, no one's getting that back.
Now, starting to open up a lead here of 4 points.
Really good placement. She gets the shorter lift there, and that's ridiculously good. Short lift, but she's worked the rally for the short lift. She's put herself in that position. That's what I mean. Did it have to quite be that good? Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I'd say one other thing about the Malaysians that I really like is their team, kind of their teamwork together, as in they look so united. They look so together. They're smiling together. They're enjoying it together. You know, they even little things like helping each other off the floor. I know it sounds silly, but they seem so together that there's such a team on
particularly close, aren't they? These two?
And I do think that gives you an extra, it could be a couple of percent, but a couple of percent at this level is a lot.
What you need, right? Yeah. 4-point lead. Then the Malaysians, 11-7.
ताकि हमें अननेसेसरी क्या कोई ना कोई तो मारे देंगे नहीं, वो ड्रॉप मार देंगे कुछ ना, तो थोड़ा ब्लॉक आपको ब्लॉक करना है, ये तो थोड़ा ब्लॉक कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। और थोड़ा आप जैसे वो फ्लिक आपको पीछे कर रहे हैं ना, तो जस्ट रेडी फॉर द फ्लिक। आगे को तो हम बहुत ज़्यादा अटैक नहीं भी करवाएंगे, उनसे पीछे वाला शेड्यूल कंफर्टेबली खेल है ना। और समटाइम्स त्रिशा से तुम्हारा अटैक अच्छा है ना, तो वो लोग को भी मालूम है कि त्रिशा अटैक करी है ना, तो समटाइम आप पहले बार में बना के सेकंड टाइम अच्छा अटैक कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। बाकी अच्छा खेल लो इस चीज़ से, तो और थोड़ा ट्राई करो, आप आगे रहो, थोड़ा पीछे रहे, इसका ऐसा प्लान करना है ना। ओके चलो, ऑल द बेस्ट, अच्छा से।
Well, your Danish was pretty good earlier. I'm not going to put you on the spot with your Hindi this time.
It's one that I haven't downloaded that language yet.
I heard block quite a few times in there. It's been a decent start here from the Malaysians. Can they push on from that 4-point lead? That is going to get... Yeah.
Everybody was trying to...
Everyone was trying. I was wondering why the Indians were putting their hands up, but...
I think the line judge, he first of all signalled in and then eventually signalled out. Shows it was a close one.
Yeah. What was your initial thought?
I get probably 90% of these wrong, but I do think it was out.
Yeah, it was a tough one to call. There you go.
Yeah.
Is that your one for the day then?
Yeah, that's no more now. If you get one right, that's me stopping.
Service over, 8-11. Play.
12-16.
Really good there from Jolly. Brushed the shuttle really well. Made it really awkward for her opponent to be able to get it away.
Oh, snatching at that perhaps. Tina Muralitharan, and it's only 1 point in it. We've seen reactions, haven't we, from the intervals. I think in that mixed doubles match, the Danes came out from both the intervals to try and peck back their opponents. Sustaining it, though, of course, a very different matter.
Service over, 12-10.
Fairly similar records this year.
17.
Pullela and Tina, 25 wins, 18 defeats in 43 matches. Jolly and Gopichand's 22 and 16. The difference is
Service over,
Malaysian pair are getting
11-12.
to finals and winning titles.
18-14.
It's a little feint from Purley just before that.
13.
Yeah, unfortunately there for Jolly, pretty much the only place on the court she can't hit this next shot to here is there. Could have gone cross, could have put pace down the line. It was just well predicted by her opponent, Muralitharan.
Oh,
She made a fantastic move there, Pullela. Just overdid it slightly.
yeah, she knows it.
She does read it well. She knows look, they're always trying to get forward, and she does. Takes it early, just a little too much. She's the player on the side of the Indian partnership, the one that's always trying to get forward, get the attack for a partner.
Oof, getting each other's way.
Brilliant shot from Jolly.
Service over, 12.
And Jolly,
14.
she does have a really good attack. She's got one of the better attacks out of all the ladies doubles players in the world. She's got good power, and you can see there the variation, something a bit different. Quite a lot of slice on that last one. Although the Malaysians have dominated the match so far, and by that I mean they've pretty much always had a lead, Indians are doing so well to stay so close because, you know, anything can happen. 14-12, still definitely in the game.
Yeah, it's just tight. It's been a very good reaction overall from the Indians. It was 11-7 at the break, and so that means it's been 6-3 after the restart in favour of the Indians.
I do think there, Muralitharan, she's not really under enough pressure to warrant a mistake. Maybe she's trying to play too good a shot. That's brilliant, though. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Jolly.
14.
And all of a sudden, you know, it's even.
Yeah.
Not sure we're going to get to see this on the replay, but this was lovely. Great serve, active, looking for it. And she doesn't try and kill it. She just brushes it, but she gets there early.
Muralitharan with that shot now sees the Indians in front.
Yeah, all of a sudden, you know, it probably 4 or 5 points ago, it felt quite comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, it felt like the Malaysians were not going through the motions, but they were controlling the game. And now, a few unforced errors from the Malaysians and some really well-played points, especially from Jolly. She's played 2 incredible points. They've got the lead.
(8-3) since the interval to the Indians.
It's just a good rally overall.
Service over.
The intensity of this match now.
Really picked up.
Gone up a level, yep.
I think this is about as tight a game as we've seen so far at this stage of any of the matches we've had. Longest rally at 42 shots.
Luisa, you ready?
Just edge ahead here, the Malaysians.
Yeah, it's good pressure from the Malaysians, rotated around each other really well to cover the gap, cover the space. I think it's just that pressure of taking the shuttle pretty early that's caused Jolly to miss that.
Jolly and Pullela have been here once before in 2022 and got eliminated in the second round. Pullela with a bit of a ticking off there.
7.
Tan and Tina have only been here 3 times prior. Never got past the second round.
Unsighted.
Unsighted.
think from the shout, Jolly's fairly confident it was out. I think
Just a while.
she probably had the best view out of everyone, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Did look out as well, I think.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds.
And even there, look how much they're always smiling. They're just enjoying what they do.
They're just close, aren't they? Just
Yeah.
physically and everything. Yeah, it is.
Out.
Play.
It's actually, you see them from them almost more than any other
All.
top pair that I can think of. That chemistry,
Yeah,
that understanding.
Definitely say in the ladies doubles category, they look the most connected.
Right.
You know, and it's not integral. It's not the be all and end all. But I do personally believe it can give you that extra little something. And when you're talking about you lose a game or win a game 21-18, little thing like that, the belief in each other, the cooperation together, the understanding, it can make the difference.
17-16.
The aggression has been excellent from the Indians, the controlled intensity since the break. .10-6 since the break. That might just go out, it is.
And it's amazing how, it's not that it's turned on its head this game, but it's quite a big transformation because it felt like the Malaysians were in control, they were dominating. You know, I was giving a lot of praise to Muralitharan in particular, and now the Indians have stepped up and the Malaysians, quite a few more unforced errors on simpler shots. String's gone there, just mistimed overhead.
17-18.
1. Set over. 10, 9.
Sure, we quite got to see where it broke. I was fairly confident it was in one of the corners, and this is the thing, all the players now have the rackets pretty tight, hit outside the sweet spot, and string tension's just too tight for string to be able to hold a shot like that. When the strings go, because they're under so much tension, it's very hard to control the shuttle.
Oh, the tension is pretty tight in this one as well, in this match. 18 all.
All.
Really could go either way. Certainly the closest game we have had thus far today on court 1. Once again, they retake the lead.
Yeah, and it's brilliant pressure from the Indian pair because they had the attack most of the rally, but the Malaysians, full credit to them, they were defending really well. And it came down to that last shot. We didn't quite get to see it. Obviously, Tina was having to cover the whole, Muralitharan, apologies, was having to cover the whole court because Tina took that risk. She pushed it in the mid-court and then had to duck, and just slightly wrong shot, and it was just because they were under so much pressure for so long. Eventually, the Malaysians are going to play the wrong shot or make the wrong decision, and that's what happened at the end.
Service over.
A little bit of a gift there.
All.
Just that indecision of should she block it, should she punch it over.
And they now have a game point here, the Indian pairing.
Over 20. Game point 19.
It's a slender single game point, which they put away.
Game.
was incredible from Pullela.
Well, that, since the interval, has been superb. 14-8 they won since the break, the Indian pairing. And they take the first game, 21-19.
弹你，我们在打长，这样变成我们球没常是控制到了，所以我们打长打弹点他上来出来先，这个球一定开给他弹远远的球，这样我们才能保持这个。如果我们打太长，那个我们那一人弹我们，弹了你杀不，一个出去打一下，然后他这样子很好很好。注意一下这个点情况，我就觉得还是点上里面还有什么球你觉得难打？还有什么球你觉得不舒服？是这个，你这学下去，没了，国力下去。我觉得防守也是我们打太强了，打上还弹我们你进去也可以来因为防守还是打你进。
That time ready रहना, आगे सेव खेलना और कुछ शॉट जैसे एक शॉट आपका जब उस टाइम में आपको लग रहा है ना जो चीज़ थोड़ा टफ है या थोड़ा सा आउट ऑफ पोजीशन है, जस्ट क्रॉस इट. उसमें हमें कोई ऐसा उसे प्ले नहीं करना जैसे हमारा क्रॉस हो. ठीक है, बिल्कुल यही माइंडसेट से खेलना. दोनों अच्छा खेल रहे हो, है ना, एकदम बढ़िया तरीके से. ठीक है. और तो थोड़ा बस सिचुएशन तेरा क्या है, तुम थोड़ा आगे ज़्यादा रह सकती है, थोड़ा पीछे ज़्यादा रह सकती है, ऐसा भी दिमाग में रखना. ठीक है, ऐसे ठीक है.
Players on court.
So, second game here.
Second
That
game.
has perhaps, the first one perhaps going against the grain.
Play.
The high-ranked pair in the end that's been slightly preferred, of course, not as key in doubles as it is in singles, but interesting to see how they respond in this second game, the Malaysians.
1 love.
And they've got a very good head-to-head as well, the record here.
I think the big thing will be now the Malaysians have got the slight drift with them, so their attack will have that bit extra zip. Thing is as well from the Indian pair, although currently they're ranked at 21, they have had a high of 14, and I'd say realistically I do think they're a better pair than 21 in the world. It's
Right.
just, they had that duration where Gayatri was just injured for a little bit. Made the semi-final of the All England, which is one of the biggest tournaments in the world.
Sure.
Service over. 1, 2.
They got to a few quarterfinals in the early part of this year, the Indian pairing. Thailand Masters, the 300, German Open as well. French Open, losing to Chung Ching Chin and Jia Fan. And then the Swiss Open, so a bit of a mix.
Yeah, Singapore's the big one. Semi-final of Singapore Open, it's a massive result. CS 750 as well.
Yeah, just starting to pick up for them a bit.
Brilliant placement there. I think she could see that Jolly maybe just crept a tiny bit away from her line on this one. Just a little bit, that's just placed to perfection though. The gap's not that big. Very well executed.
Service over. 3, 4.
13-7. 13-17.
It's almost a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde with Muralitharan at times, because yes, she can do pretty much everything there is possible to do on a badminton court, but at times just feel she can make a few more unforced errors.
4.
Sharp at the net today, Jolie, especially as for me, she's not the more comfortable net player in that partnership. It's only very early in the second game, but it does feel like the momentum is now moving with a pair from India.
Yeah, it feels like the momentum really is with them right now.
Again, you know, the big thing now is for the Indians, get the Malaysians to lift, because getting a little bit more tense, the more tense you get, obviously, the harder it is to lift, and seen a few simple lifts go out the back. Very calm. Very calm and composed there. Tina on that kill. She made that look so much easier than it was. Not a difficult shot, but so composed. Saw in the earlier ladies singles, when it's that close to the net, it's very easy to accidentally just clip the tape.
18-14.
6, 7.
Malaysians did incredible to stay in that rally, defended so well. Pullela was all over the net. Good return, looks off. And again there.
Yeah, you mentioned good run at the Singapore Open, taking out the world number 2 and 6 pairings. So they've got that ability, the Indians. The Malaysians in front here.
8, 7.
I'd say the hall in Singapore, being a very drifty hall, traditionally isn't a hall that pairs from Korea are more comfortable in. I think the 2 pairs they beat were both from Korea.
Yeah, I think, you know, taking out 5 of the top 10 pairings in the world by the age of 21 is still very impressive.
Yeah, it was really impressive, and this is what I said, you know, they showed so much promise. I actually coached against them back in probably 2022 when they were kind of just coming on the scene, and it was evident, you know, there was something different about them, the way they played. They were quite bold in regards to the way they played and the style they had, and they were slightly different from a lot of the other Indian pairs at the time. And they just had that patch where, you know, Gayatri got injured and it just stopped their kind of momentum. Struggled just a little bit after that. What I mean there about Muralitharan. She's tried something special, and to be honest, in that situation, you don't need to. Good defense from the Indians here, but she's trying like something special from down there. And sometimes I think her concentration and her shot selection just gets a tiny bit clouded. It's almost like she's got too many shots to choose from. You know, she's almost at times got too many options.
14-16.
Leaves that, of course, now with the drift behind the Malaysians, it's going to happen.
I think it's something that the Indian pair did really well in the first game, which was they managed to control the drift. And, you know, we know looking back at Singapore Open, when there's a drift, they're not really bothered. They can handle a drift pretty well.
So it's over 10, 9.
Very tight. Going into the interval of the second game, it's the Malaysians who lead by 2, but Jolly and Pullela have taken the first game.
मतलब अगर सपोज वो जैसे वो एक रैली चलाया उन्होंने उस टाइम है ना, और दूसरी बात क्या है कि दोनों जने चाहे रिसीव कर रहे हैं या सर्व कर रहे हैं, और इनको चांस कम देना है मारने का, तो थोड़ा ऐसा गेम खेलना है ना। और अभी आप ब्लॉक कर रहे हैं, अच्छा ब्लॉक कर रहे हैं, तो बीच में जब आपको मतलब उड़ाना है तो उड़ा सकते हैं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, ठीक है। बस एकदम जो है बस फोकस होकर रहना, ठीक है। बॉडी लैंग्वेज सही रखना, कुछ नहीं है उसको।
DK Senna, the coach for the Indian pairing, father of Lakshya Sen. Plenty to say. Whatever he said in the last interval certainly made a difference. Some little bits of work needed on the court. It was nice to walk around Odense in the last couple of days, Chris, and see badminton on TVs in bars and restaurants. It's just not something I'm used to seeing in the rest of Europe, really.
100%. I think in Europe as a whole, badminton maybe doesn't quite have the following that it has in Asia, but it's amazing when you come to Denmark because the vast majority of people see badminton as they do in Asia in regards to it's a big sport.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people love badminton, and you know, even the person that drove me to the hotel, he was a big badminton fan, and
right.
you know, I'm sure he knew a lot about it, and he was talking about the top players like they were his idols, and it was such, you know, it was lovely to hear, and this is why badminton in Denmark's big, but Denmark is such a superpower in badminton because of that. It kind of has a knock-on effect. It'd be amazing if other parts of Europe maybe took that on as well.
Yeah. My driver was talking about the heroics of the men's doubles in 2020. Do you know much about that?
Oh.
Took a while there.
I was like,
took a while.
Hold on a sec. Yeah, you set me up there, didn't you? It's a good year, that one.
Chris Langridge winning here in the Denmark Open. But a different arena, Chris.
It was indeed, yeah. And I have to be honest, it was one of those that was affected by COVID, so it wasn't quite a full...
Don't say that, Ben.
I have to be honest. You know, it wasn't quite a full contingent of players, but yeah, Danish Open for me personally, it's always a tournament that's very professional.
Yeah.
Lovely arena, you know, and lovely to be in Europe and have generally some support. Obviously, when you play Danish people, you didn't.
Sure.
But, you know, the fans here would often take on another European team to cheer on. It was nice rather than getting a few boos in the crowd, which I was a little bit more used to.
They've turned that round nicely, the Indians.
Brilliant. Got to say, Jolly. Haven't seen her play live for a little bit, but she really looks like she's stepped up. She's played really well here today. I mean, Pullela has as well, there's no doubt about that.
I was reading about how Teresa, they don't want her to be just regarded as the big hitter. There's more to her than that. And
I would 100% agree with that. I mean, the way she's moving the shuttle around in defence is really nice. And
yeah.
We've seen her at the net. She's been so sharp, cutting shots out, being dangerous. She does have this big attack. There's no, you know, and it's a fantastic gift. And you're right, you don't want to categorise someone in such a simplistic way because there's so much more about her. And the great thing about the Indian pair is their attack is so different from each other. So I would say Pullella's more kind of a crisper, steeper, less power, but maybe slightly a little bit more accuracy. But then Jolly does have the bigger hit. But that's why it's so tough to defend against them, because you kind of get used to one type of attack, then they'll rotate and it'll be a totally different type of attack.
And that's why there was also saying that you need to persevere with this. With this pairing, there's been some frustrations, I think, because maybe they haven't progressed as quickly as people want. But I mean,
but this is the thing, yeah,
they're so young.
It's normal, you know. No one, you know, people look at this chart and they think you go in this perfect line, you know,
where its trajectory is just up, up, up.
Whereas, yes, as long as you're going in an upward direction, it's the integral part. You're going to have bumps, you're going to have ups and downs, and sometimes people can look too much into the ups and downs, and you can over-analyze, and it's too much, if you get what I mean. You then start to overthink, you put doubt in your mind. It's almost like you give somebody too many options.
Puts that away, Muralitharan, to open up a 3-point lead.
15-12. James.
In a good position here. Can they hold on to it? The Malaysians force that third. That holds.
16-12.
3 in a row. We're seeing them in a nice position here.
Service over. 13-16. Ready? Fight.
A little wayward from Jolly.
I think there was a call just before Jolly struck it from her partner that it was going out. But I think it was one of those that she was so committed to the shot, it was almost hard to leave it.
Yeah.
And it was so close, you just don't know. Absolutely brilliant in that rally from Jolly. There were 2 defensive shots. She did so well to get back because they were under so much pressure from the Malaysians. No, we're not going to get to see it on the replay, but when the rally changed near the end of it, incredible defense.
Still in this, Jolly and Pullela.
Now, the other thing to think about is that the Malaysians have played a lot of tournaments lately, and they've been doing really well. So obviously they got a lot of matches under their belt, but also there will be a reasonable amount of fatigue also. And something that we saw earlier in the year, Malaysians just dealing with a few like injuries that were going on, a few frustrations with, I think there were some shoulder, elbow issues. And if this is going to progress and go to 3 games, it's quite a lengthy game so far. Could any of that play a part? Or, flip side of that, could the Indians find another gear, manage to snatch this second game?
Oh, they played that again.
Brilliant.
Nicely.
Yeah, brilliant from the Indian pair, because there were 2 moments where, well, that's obviously an obvious one, where Pullela guessed correct. It's not guessed. She didn't guess. She calculated the situation correctly, And she did it twice in the rally. And then also Jolly played an incredible, again, defensive shot to get them out of trouble, but collectively together they played such a good rally.
Service over. 2-0.
Brilliant again.
Well, they've come back quite nicely here to within a point of their opponents.
3-2.
The start of the year wasn't auspicious, really, for Riley and Tina. A couple of quarterfinals. All England, of course, the one that stands out there, but otherwise just the Indonesia Masters.
Service over.
The amount of tape as well that Muralitharan's obviously got on her, it's quite a lot.
Yeah. I've seen them play some marathon matches, these two.
Yeah.
4-3.
Only a point in it. Can the Indians keep this going? We've just got this run going. 3 in a row.
4-0.
And they're all square.
Yep.
17-all.
Fantastic resolve shown by the Indians now. Muralitharan is showing something on her foot. He talked about a blister on her toe, I think.
So I think she was saying to the umpire, I've got a blister, and the umpire was still saying, well, a blister, I think you need to carry on. But
unless you specify.
That's the important thing. If she's specifying that she needs to see a doctor, then the umpire has no choice but to call on the doctor. For me, this is the downside, obviously, of round after round. They've done incredibly well lately.
Yeah.
Incredibly well. And it's kind of that, when you're in a tournament, it's so much tougher than in training. It's more kind of the emotions. It's a lot more fatiguing. And you can tell some of that is going to play a part in today.
Yeah, absolutely. As we've said, they've gone deep in tournaments. China Open was perhaps the outlier there, the disappointment.
And the only thing is, as well, by the China Open, yes, they did lose first round, but they lost to the winners. So you could say, on one hand, it was a bit of an unfortunate draw, because the pair they lost to ended up, obviously, taking the title. Another young Chinese pair coming through.
Amazing, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. Li and Lu. And they look very good, very good. And they could be the 4th, maybe, Chinese pair, which is ridiculous. You know, China at the moment, the depth they have, it truly is outstanding. Now, I always say this, but this is so integral, because it's 17-all in the second game. Been going for nearly 50 minutes. Everyone's concentration's wavered a little bit, because they obviously haven't played a point for however long it is, 2, 3, 4 minutes. How are all 4 players going to start after this break? Because now it is quite a lengthy break, and obviously badminton is a continuous game. So are we going to see either a very short, sharp rally where someone is very alert or someone is not alert, or are we going to see an unforced error, or what are we going to see? But this is so integral now. The next 2 points can totally transform the whole match.
Well, as you heard there, get on back super quick, and that's because there's these 3-4 minutes. There was momentum, wasn't there, built by Jolly and Pullela.
Yep.
4 in a row. This disruption is, well, it's exactly that. It's disrupted
Yeah,
that momentum.
The difficult bit is you can see how much strapping that Muralitharan's got going on at the moment. She's got a lot of strapping pretty much everywhere. And obviously, if your foot isn't quite comfortable, you don't quite move the same, and it only causes a tiny bit of your body to hesitate, and you're nowhere near as quick.
Correct.
But this is now a very lengthy delay. But what are we going to see now in this rally? This is it. 17-all in the second game.
17-all. Play.
Wow, first point since that medical interval, and it goes to the Malaysians. Just edged ahead here. Muralitharan.
Yeah, I mean, that's just incredible.
18-all.
It just turned the shuttle like that then. It's really, really impressive.
Looked effortless.
Malaysians there just informing the umpire, just pressed the wrong button.
Well, 3 straight points.
Also, you know, after this quite big break that we had, fairly quick points.
Yeah.
You know, fairly sharp, being on it. Malaysians have obviously done very well since the break.
3 game points as well now. So the Malaysians have turned this around. In what looked to be a dangerous moment, the Indians were gaining momentum. And it is 21-17 to Muralitharan and Tina Muralitharan as we move into a third game here.
मैं एक चीज़ ये कह रहा हूँ कि एक तो जैसे अभी ना आपने 17 वगैरह तो उन्हें अटैक दी थी, अटैक वो लास्ट में वो चांस लेके हिट कर सकते हैं, है ना? तो थोड़ा हम लगा के खेलें, भाई हमें नहीं मिला तो उन्हें भी ना मिले। एक चीज़ दूसरी सी बाकी वही चीज़ें करनी है जो चीज़ अभी करते हैं। थोड़ा तो सर्विस करते हुए रिसीव करते रैकेट ऊपर रखो, बहुत सारे शेड्यूल मिलेगा क्योंकि वो तुम्हारे बॉडी के ऊपर ऐसे मार रहा है तो उसको खेलना आसान होगा। अगर आपने सर्व किया उन्होंने नेट पे रखा रैकेट तब भी आपको हेल्प होगा। तो वो एक बेसिक उसको कई बार रैकेट आपका नीचे आ रहा है करने के, और दूसरा थोड़ा वेरिएशन यूज़ कर सकते हो, थोड़ा लिटिल फास्टर, थोड़ा ऐसे। आर यू कंफर्टेबल ना? हाँ, तो ये मतलब, और जैसे जब भी कोई ऐसे खेलेंगे तो सिंपल सेफ खेलना है बच्चों, सब कोई दिक्कत नहीं है क्योंकि एकदम से पॉइंट ना आने वाला है ना जाने वाला है ना? और बाकी सर्विस आप अच्छा कर रहे हो, है ना? कोई मतलब ज़्यादा कुछ चेंजेस की ज़रूरत नहीं है। और कोई चीज़ तुम्हें ऐसा लग रहा है कि कोई चीज़ मतलब गेम के बीच में
नहीं सर,
ठीक है ना?
बस वो लोग अटैक करने की टीम ज़्यादा, हम अटैक करने की टीम ज़्यादा।
हाँ, मतलब थोड़ा ऐसा करना है कि और थोड़ा जैसे एक बार और भी आया था, हर बार उड़ाने का मैं सोच सकता हूँ, लगाने का उड़ाने में चांस है उसको, और लगाने में हमें चांस है, ठीक है? एकदम फोकस होकर खेलना फुल एनर्जी के साथ। कम ऑन।
Final game, level, play.
So third game, here we are with the Malaysians Having that little bit of momentum just towards the end when it mattered to edge the second game. It's been a pretty tight match so far.
Seeing the attack from the Indian pair this time. A little bit more power in their attack. Getting through fairly easily in the first two rallies.
Oh, another one of those.
Over. 1, 2.
Pullela with the fault there. Here we go.
Not sure it was actually going over, that's why.
Yeah.
Service over. 3, 2. Service over. 3, all.
Good call by the umpire there.
What do you want to see more of
3.
from, say, the Indian pair first, Chris?
I think the big thing is we've seen when they get on the attack, the way the ends are, it's a lot more dangerous. The hard thing is they're on this fine line of when you try and get the attack, you can almost force it. I mean, I think that was going out.
Yeah.
But you can, because this is the thing we see when they get the attack, they got, especially Jolly. Jolly's got a big smash, he's got good power,
Yeah.
and they can get through. There's a fine line between almost trying so hard to get the attack, you force something, you make an unforced error, and you gift your opponent the chance. But it's hard for them to move the shuttle around the side they're down, because with the wind it's a bit more difficult, because you can lift out. But if they can keep the attack and work the rallies, they know they can get through down this. I mean, we're seeing example after example of it.
5, 4.
That's a lovely shot from Muralitharan.
And I would say there, it was a little bit for me, the Indian pair forcing it, putting a bit too much pace in, not quite at the right time, which then allowed the Malaysians to get the attack. And then when they did, very clinical.
Wait for the line jump. Play.
Clever shot from Muralitharan. But the pace of the rally obviously went a lot slower in that. You had the two net players from each partnership clearing to each other, just saying, what are you going to do?
Thank you.
Do for the Malaysians. Feeling very comfortable when Pullella's at the rear of the court. They know she doesn't quite have the firepower that her partner has. Being a really dangerous net player, that Pullela is. She's always looking to try and get forward. She's the one that has to get the attack for her partner.
Service over, 6-0.
Reminder again on the head-to-head. These two pairings very much in favor of the Malaysians. 5-1. And interestingly enough, this is the first time that these two pairs are going to a third game. Never happened before.
Didn't quite get to see that one there from Pullela. It's just the wrong shot. It's a great interception. There's no doubt about it from the Malaysians. But for me, I'd much rather Pullela there maybe holds it and does a straight fade or a straight poke or even just plays net. She's got such good touch that by going out again or pushing it through, it just gives the Malaysians that chance to intercept, and then it really exposes a partnership like it did.
Wouldn't go over for Tina.
Service over, 7-0.
Just gone past the 1 hour mark.
Tina Muralitharan doesn't seem to have too much bothering her since the timeout. Well long.
How on earth did Tina manage to get that back? Incredible defense. The rally was done and dusted there. But look at the composure, and not just that, she doesn't just get it back, she gets it back with incredible control.
So low down, wasn't it?
This is what we haven't quite seen as much of from the Indian pair the last 4, 5, 6 points, where they're in their favoured formation and they're both on balance and they're getting the attack. Because when they do, their attack's so good. But it's credit to the Malaysian pair who have managed to find a way of stopping that from happening.
Yeah, they're just looking to edge ahead.
You can see there, Jolly, she's trying the right thing. She doesn't want to give the attack away. She wants the attack. She can see her opponent, Tina's moving off the net. Just misses it.
DK-san looking quite frustrated at the moment.
Brilliant from both Malaysians, moving the shuttle around so well, exposing the court, finding the gaps. There, big gap in front. Jolly gives everything to try and get it, but not quite possible.
एक चीज़ क्या है कि अभी भी जैसे सर्विस जब भी हो रही है ना, रैकेट बहुत सारे
At
शेडे
the
निकल
interval,
रहे हैं आपसे
11-8 to the Malaysian
है ना,
pair.
और सुनो क्या कहते हैं, जब भी पीछे खेल रहे हैं ना तो आपको आगे रहना है। अगर आप मतलब क्योंकि कुछ भी खेलेगी तो उसके बाद आपको आगे से ज़्यादा कवर करना है।
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1,
दूसरी थोड़ा
20
बोल के
seconds.
खेलो, क्या डिमांड है गेम की, आपस में आप दोनों ना थोड़ा बोल के खेलो, ठीक है?
Coach, attention.
ओके, चलो ऐसे एक बार फोकस करना बेटा, लग के खेलना तो।
Players, back and court. Change. Teresa. Teresa to receive. 11-8. Play.
Now up to 4. This is looking good for Muralitharan and Tina Muralitharan.
Yeah, and clever shot from Purley. Just held it that fraction, almost allowed her opponent into position, just poked it through her. She knew Pullela would go for it.
Oh, disguise on that was excellent.
Yeah, and it's that amazing stop drop. We saw it a few points ago, almost exactly the same outcome. And I think they've noticed that Jolly's defensive position is just slightly deeper now. It's so hard for her to be able to cover that.
Thank you. Carly, wait for the danger. Play. Service over, 9-13.
So important now, the Malaysians just steady the ship, as it were, in regards to just a few cheaper points creeping in. Gives the pair from India just that extra bit of belief, that confidence, gets them on the momentum, on a run.
We're in trouble here. Jolly couldn't get off the ground.
Yeah, so tough because she kind of knew where it was going and just slightly got her footwork wrong.
10.
Then she was off balance and in big trouble there. Right leg just didn't quite go where she wanted it to go.
The Malaysians take full advantage.
Teresa, are you okay? Teresa, are you okay?
Lead now up to 5. It's looking more and more difficult
10.
from here on in.
Big thing on that last defensive shot from the Malaysians, stepped in. When you step in, you take the shuttle earlier. By doing that, you give your opponent less time, and that's why Pullela was off balance and she was in a bit of trouble, though she was at the front of the court and they still technically had the attack.
Full. Service over, 11-15.
Good pressure there from Jolly. Really good placement on that last shot. The right shoulder, so difficult to get the shuttle away.
Or maybe the seeds of a fight back coming through.
15.
Miscommunication there from the Malaysians. Loose block. Pearly sees her partner take a step in and then retreats.
Clips the net. Nicely put away by Muralitharan.
Yeah, and you could see the frustration from Jolly at the end. She just, it felt like she was in two minds of what shot to play, and then by the time she actually made the decision, it was just too late. And the shot she played puts him in all sorts of trouble. Half-court lift. I think she wasn't sure whether to fade it straight or go out. Go out over Tina.
Thank you.
Still a lot of work to do for the Indians to stay in this.
Brilliant.
17-12.
Really good vision there to spot where her opponent was and see her opponent was moving to cover, because she's slightly off balance there, Muralitharan. She can see her opponent's making that move across and where the gap's going to be. It's obviously something that Pullela has done really well throughout the game. She's made some really great moves.
It's gone long.
Service over, 13-17.
Well, we're nowhere near yet, at least to the 1 hour 42-minute match that they had in the semi-finals last week. The Malaysians
14,
against the
17.
second seeds. Ovrin Iwanaga and Kie Nakanishi. And the 26-24 in the third. It's always like a couple steps forward and a step back, isn't it, for the Indians? Just maintaining some kind of run.
I mean, I think there, Pullela, she did great. A few shots before that, she stepped in so well and took the advantage on. But then the Malaysians did really well to survive. And then all of a sudden, it kind of the rally flipped so quickly between attack and defense. Maybe wasn't quite ready on the last shot. Brilliant return. Lovely bit of skill from Jolly. Haven't seen many of those. Steps in, holds it, and then just punches it. Lovely bit of deception. It's a lot more deceptive than it actually looked on the replay.
Yeah, it's interesting. Last week, the Malaysians were saying that they really enjoyed every point, every rally they played in. Said it was tiring. Tried to hold on and give each other confidence to fight for every single one of those points. And as Chris has talked about, the unity in this partnership certainly helps you through those tough moments. Won't go over for Pullela. And that's 5 match points now. Malaysians talking about the excitement they had for this tournament and wanting to maintain the momentum they've got at the moment. And they are through to the second round in what is now becoming quite common for them, playing these long marathon matches. An hour and 13 minutes for this one. They continue their fine run. against this Indian pairing. 6-1 now in the head-to-head. It's all smiles.
21, 21-17, 21-15.
And they can look back at least with some happiness after a disappointing ending to that first game. And looking to also go beyond the second round for the first time in the Denmark Open. Let's see what happens next. But for now, they'll enjoy this. Pullela and Tina Muralitharan, the fifth seeds from Malaysia, beat India's Trisa Jolie and Gayatri Gopichand Pullela 19-21, 21-17, 21-15. They've won in an hour and 13 minutes.